Hi, I'm Sean Cousins and I'm the Head of Screen and Media here at Collarts. And it's my pleasure to walk you through some of the details for this degree that I hope you'll find interesting. Screen and Media is relatively new to Collarts, but we're growing quickly and we're a pretty well-resourced new film school, attracting already lots of amazing students. As a new course, we're blessed to have a lot of input and flexibility into how the course is run, and we think it's becoming the best practical screen and film course in Melbourne, and we're keen to keep building on that by finding students, perhaps like you, who are willing to take this journey with us. The philosophy of the course, as you can see on the screen here next to me, is a simple one, and it's my philosophy too, which is that film practitioners learn best by doing. So the emphasis in this course is on practical skills and on workshops and exercises and masterclasses with the industry practitioners as your mentors. There's lots of hands-on filmmaking right from the get-go, from trimester 1, and that all culminates, if you do the degree, in 2 years in the capstone project, which will be your calling card to the industry. If you choose to do the online diploma, you'll be enrolled for 2 trimesters and you'll emerge with a smartphone film, which is an equivalent to a diploma version of a capstone film. That final project, though, your capstone film, will be your calling card to the world, we hope, something that demonstrates who you are as a screen practitioner, what you've learned over those 2 trimesters, and I can guarantee you, you will learn a lot in the course of doing this degree. Your eyes may be diverted by that Blackmagic 6K Pocket Cinema camera on the screen there, which we use. We've purchased some of those cameras and they sit neatly in that tilter housing, which allows it to be then connected to lots of other cool stuff like a Ronin and an Armorman 2. It allows it to fit onto a gimbal and gives us the opportunity to film in lots of different ways. You'll have access to really great gear through this degree, equipment, as well as great tuition, but equipment that's being used by the industry now. So what we're trying to do is to equip you to use the gear that the industry is taking up, either is new or as an established part of the industry practice, because we want you to have industry best practice in your own workflow. Of course, all the gear is new and it's been selected by myself and other experts to provide you with the best learning outcomes and to give you the opportunity to use equipment that the industry, as I've said, is using. 6K cameras are fairly future-proof. Most projects are finished in 4K, or not even finished in 4K, but lots of things are shot in 4K, and we want you to have the chance to learn that workflow as well. I also really believe in the Blackmagic format. You'll use Blackmagic hardware like that camera as well as Blackmagic software, and they're a cool company based here in Melbourne, Australian owned, and they make very good quality gear, and it's very well established right across the industry. Their gear is found in all edit suites really in Australia and overseas, so good stuff for you to get to know well. You'll be an expert in the ecosystem of Blackmagic by the time you graduate. So, as I said, our philosophy is to get you on the tools and, so to speak, in the act of making. And I feel that most people who enter the creative field are people like me who learn best through doing, through iteration and through practice. Iteration is the act of doing things over and over again until you develop mastery. And that's essentially what this course is based on. We want you to become experts. We want you to develop mastery by doing things again and again, by taking feedback from your peers and from your lecturers and your mentors, and those industry practitioners who are your lecturers and mentors who have that experience to help you understand what it takes to succeed. Constructive feedback is a challenge for some new students to learn how to accept constructive feedback, but we want to teach you that skill as well, because as you build your resilience, you'll be better equipped to work in the creative areas. Having those skills in this industry are critical, and so that's why they're part of the curriculum. So yeah, we're going to teach you about cameras, we're going to teach you about a range of things which I'm going to address momentarily, but one of those things, what we might call soft skills, is to build resilience and to learn how to take feedback, how to offer feedback, how to analyze things in a critical way that isn't demeaning or lacking in respect for the subject of the feedback. So those things are important too. Small but important things. It's something that you and possibly your parents, if they're watching this with you, may have already considered, that working in the creative field is not easy. It's not the most secure of careers, but for many of us, we don't really feel we have a choice. I wanted to live a creative life, and you might feel the same way. I chose to work in the film industry because I felt a dire need, a desperate need to tell stories and to reflect my experience through characters, and you might feel in a similar way that you've got something that you want to say, or that you want to find a way to live creatively, as simple as that. So we want to give you the skills to do that, and the best way to do that in what is a really exciting industry, a rapidly changing industry, is, as I've said already, to iterate, to develop your work over a period of times, to reflect and to take advice and support from more experienced people. So that's very much the nature of this industry. It's populated with industry experts who've all got a passionate interest in education, who are really interested in sharing their knowledge, their industry expertise, and bringing that to the next generation of storytellers. And the industry is changing. The industry in 2 or 3 years' time, when you graduate, will quite possibly be different to the one that we stand in right now. I know when I speak for myself, the industry that I graduated from in the 1990s, early 1990s, is almost unrecognisable. I was shooting film and editing on sprockets, and video, let alone digital video, was hadn't even been considered. So you're a future screen practitioner, I hope, and you'll find your way in the world, and you'll do that by becoming an original thinker and to find out where you best fit in the industry. So that's something else as a focus for us, is helping you subspecialise, helping you figure out how you fit into this industry, what skills you demonstrate, what skills you'd like to develop. We want to have that very personal interaction with you and figure out what we can do to help you be the best practitioner you can be. It's going to take you a couple of years to figure that out, possibly. Many of you might arrive as aspiring writer-directors, and many of you might indeed pursue that throughout your degree, but some of you might turn left at Albuquerque and decide that cinematography is what you want to do, or editing. And I see this every trimester. Somebody decides that they've found a passion and a calling: sound recording, first assistant director, gaffer, production design. All of these things we can help you make your way towards in the industry, and if you have a focus and a passion, you've got a realistic chance of finding a place for yourself in the industry. That's why we have all of our staff come from the industry, and they all have areas of strength that they can share with you, and that will continue to be the case as you move through your degree. Everyone you're going to encounter, and I mean everyone, has a real commitment to ensuring that you can find your creative best. What you'll have to do is to make a commitment to make this course, this degree, the focus of your education. Let me change the slide. So some of this I've already covered. We place a strong emphasis on industry engagement, of course, and we want you to work in a hands-on environment. And I'll just move my big head out of the way. And our aim, as I've just said, is to give you those foundational skills as filmmakers, as technicians, as content creators. Content creation is both in the online diploma and in the degree, and it's a really interesting area. If you go on to Seek today, when you finish watching this, you'll find that there's possibly as many as 100 jobs for people who know how to shoot and edit video in the content creation space, making content for online, for the commercial world, and you know, for people who are looking for short-term film crews for their educational content or their corporate content. So those are really great opportunities for entry-level or recent graduate practitioners, and so you will definitely have those skills. Even out of an online diploma, you'll have those skills in just 2 trimesters. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to help you find your voice and find your place. And you don't have to know what that is yet. It doesn't matter if you don't know yet what you want to do. You might decide that you want to be a colour grader or to work in live video production, like the person using this Blackmagic console here is doing. And live production is a great skill, something I've really enjoyed doing in the past. Colour grading is a skill that many students these days are very adept at, being so computer literate, and some people have a natural faculty for the colour space and find that really satisfying work. So all of these things are options to you. So first of all, the face-to-face degree, what sorts of things are we going to be covering? I'll move my head again. Well, of course, it's practical learning, storycraft, production skills using really great software like Yamdu to help you learn how to build productions. We start in trimester 1 building our first production Bible, and I've only just finished marking them, and some of them were 70 pages long. So those students have been so inspired by that project that they've created their storyboards and their shot lists and their mood boards and their call sheets and their budgets to 70 pages, marked up scripts, location recce and location scanning, which is a significant amount of work when you think about it, but a lot of it comes out of Yamdu, so it's generated automatically. So don't be terrified, you don't have to write 70 pages. But it's an impressive thing to be able to, at the end of your first trimester, use software to generate all of that documentation to show that you know how to produce a film, and that's a wonderful skill. Both online and face-to-face will have those skills. In the face-to-face course, you'll also learn studio production. We do multi-camera shoots, and of course you'll go on and do documentary filmmaking. You'll learn about distribution and marketing strategy, which is a really important thing, something that's overlooked in many courses, and I think that's to their detriment. And of course, as I've said repeatedly, we're going to give you the opportunity to build best practice workflow for post-production, because a lot of you will actually find your first jobs in the post-production area. It's a really interesting space and something that lots of students find a real passion for. But balancing that, our course, as I've said, is really practical, but where we think we're really sort of unique and where we've got a really lovely balance is we also have a stream of screen theory and screen practice. So with the screen practice. So you do screen genre, critical thinking, Australian screen studies, global screen studies, all of those things are built into the course. So you become conversant, literate in film as well. And I think that's a really wonderful aspect of the film. It gives you the chance to really learn to think and to talk film. So, screen theory and industry practice. And yeah, that also covers things like entrepreneurship, so how to build a business. That's an important part of the face-to-face and the nested diploma within the face-to-face to be able to do that. But if, for example, you want to do the online diploma, as you can see there, that's a photograph of the iPad we'll send in the case. We'll send it, and you'll have basically the tripod and the gimbal and the software and the Rode microphone and the iPad sent to you by mail. And you can work remotely, you can work from anywhere as long as you're willing to check in on Monday to Thursday, 6 till 9 p.m. to do your online classes. You can catch up on those classes later if for one reason or another you're out of range or you're offline, but the intention is that you can become effectively a mobile filmmaking ninja on the road or remotely, living remotely. As long as you've got internet connection, you can do this online diploma and you'll get identical skills in a slightly different modality to the face-to-face students. So you'll get storycraft and you'll use Yamdu to build your production skills. You'll do new technology and learn those creative agency skills which will make you so employable with a really wonderful teacher. All of my teachers are great, but I think you'll find that new technology class is really exciting in stage 2. You'll learn, of course, how to make mobile films with your iPad and your smartphone, how to edit remotely, and how to build a post-production workflow and to output and master your films and sound mix your films. So a lot of skills are acquired in just 2 trimesters. It's a fair bit of work. You've got to commit 4 days, 4 evenings a week to do it. But at the end of that, you've got a diploma that you can then roll over into a degree if you choose to, or so you can come and enroll with full accreditation into the face-to-face degree, or you can go out into the world and try your luck as a screen practitioner off the back of your diploma. You'll certainly have a lot more skill and transferable skills actually than when you started this course. That's a guarantee. You'll be more film literate, having done screen and media studies and critical thinking and screen genre, and you'll be a much better image maker. That's a guarantee. Hopefully you'll also understand story and the mechanics of story, which I think is tremendously valuable if you end up making, your intention is to make corporate videos. The best corporate videos have great storycraft in them, and you'll be able to say that you've got a sophisticated understanding of storycraft that you can acquire in those two trimesters as well. That goes also for the nested diploma. If you're face-to-face, you're acquiring those same writing skills with the same teachers, in fact. Okay, so here's a quick look at the course outline, and as you can see, there's those 4 columns which I've already addressed. I'll quickly move through this slide, but you can see there's the screen and media studies, creative development, which is in effect screenwriting, production, which is the real world stuff, learning the technology, learning the software, building your skills, lots of masterclasses and workshops, becoming a better director, as well as the practical aspects, the hands-on stuff, which is that final 4th column. You'll get to make a documentary over 2 trimesters. You'll get to make a capstone project over 2 trimesters. You'll try your hand at branded content, at creative content, at smartphone filmmaking, at web series. End of year 1 is all about making a web series, as well as learning all of these areas in screen studies, like learning the genres, studying Australian screen, which is overlooked in many degrees, and a survey of global cinema. So each week a new country or a new zone, and discussing the films of Indonesia, Latin America, Africa, and so on. So really exciting course taught by really amazing people. So there you go. That's the course outline, and it culminates in the capstone project and an industry placement, which is so important. The industry placement's your chance to go out into the world, accumulate 40 hours of experience, and possibly build a contact that will become your future employer. But at very least, learn what it takes to work in the industry, get a taste for a certain sector of the industry, and see if that is a good fit for you. You might decide it's perfect. You might decide that actually that isn't the right fit. All of those outcomes are fine. So, okay, what do you need to do to succeed? This all sounds pretty good, I reckon. It's a well-designed course, great teachers, but there's the other part of that is, what are you going to bring to the table? If you're successful in applying to the course, you're going to also need to be a passionate screen person. You need to be willing to engage in conversations with mentors and lecturers and your fellow students. So, find the internal fortitude, the courage to speak up and to contribute to dialogue. Once you get started, you'll find you really love doing that, even if you feel that you're innately shy. So many creatives feel they are. But once you start talking about ideas, the world of ideas, you'll find that it's incredibly stimulating to participate in those kinds of conversations. Demonstrate that you'll work well in teams. I've spoken to these soft skills already. It's so important that you are good at working in teams, because this is a collaborative art. If you think that you aren't going to be able to work well with others, this possibly isn't the course for you. You might need to pursue something like photography or painting, because we work in teams, and it's super rewarding as a consequence of that. And the industry, it takes many people to make a film, and the industry understands that. So we want you to be equipped to do that well, and so we do really demonstrate and iterate those soft skills that allow you to become better at working in teams. And you'll find that you really will, as all students do, progress in that area over the course of the degree or the diploma. Staying up to date with the industry as well as your assignments and reading, which means jumping on YouTube or having a look at Vimeo or the No Film School page, and a studio binder, and seeing all of the amazing stuff that's out there. Just getting up to date with equipment and reading film reviews and watching films. Watch as many films as you can. I can't say too much about that. Make this the focus of your life. Become film literate. Watch movies. Watch shorts. Watch documentaries. Watch content that excites you. Figure out what it is that excites you, and then you've got something to contribute to the conversation. And practice. Get ready. That's something you're going to do a lot of when you're in the degree. But once you're part of that degree, we want you to be industry ready, which means doing lots of iterations, writing lots of drafts of scripts, doing lots of edits of your films, making multiple versions of web series as you improve your technique. So taking that stuff seriously is important, and being punctual and attending classes is important. That's as much as anything else out of respect for the others as it is as respect for yourself. But if you take this seriously and you make this the focus of your life, you will turn up on time. You will make this the priority in your life, and you will see this as an incredible opportunity. The chance to live creatively is incredibly precious. You, as a future student, are incredibly fortunate to be able to make films as part of your study, to be a screen practitioner is a real honour, and we've got a responsibility to do the best we can with that. You've got a responsibility to yourself to get the best out of this opportunity. So we want you to remember that as much as you can, that this is, as much as anything else, this is an opportunity to succeed in fulfilling your creative potential. Okay? So that means being prepared to engage in dialogue with your lecturers and with others. It means being prepared for classes by doing the reading and watching the movies, and being respectful when others are speaking, all of those sorts of things. Be respectful of our diverse community as well as something that we think is a really important part of the Collarts ecosystem. It's something that is formalised in our policy, but also we informally in the classroom we want to be sure that we're careful with pronouns, that we respect diversity in all of its forms, and we make every effort not to demean others and to be respectful of difference, right? So I hope that you come willing and ready to embrace that idea. It is the world we live in, and we are better for it, and I hope that you can embrace that as a concept if it's new to you. Although I think as people enrolling in an arts course, it's probably not new to you. Okay, so that's basically it. I hope to see you and to participate with you in this journey into your creative life. Collarts Screen and Media course is a really great opportunity. I hope you see it as a great opportunity. It's a chance to work with world-class teachers, fabulous equipment in a really cool part of the world, and surrounded by other like-minded individuals. So get excited, get about it. I look forward to seeing you soon. If you've got any further questions, you can see on the screen there, that's my email address. Send me through. I'll answer your email in advance of class times. But Collarts does an amazing job at sharing that information with what's coming up, and of course open day. This is an opportunity for you to ask questions as well. So if there's anything further, feel free to drop me an email. I'm only too happy to sort you out, answer your questions, and get you on the way to a successful couple of years or a couple of trimesters at Collarts. Okay, cheers, all the best.
Thank you for that presentation on the Screen and Media course. My name is Eloise and I'm part of the future student team here at Collarts, and today I'm going to be chatting to you about admissions and eligibility requirements for the Screen and Media course. First off, if you are under the age of 20, you must have completed Year 12. This can be BCE, BCAL, or the state or international equivalent. You can even do unscored. If you are over the age of 20, this is actually not a requirement. If you are under the age of 20 and you haven't completed high school, but you have completed a relevant field certificate for or TAFE course, you may still be eligible for this course. Feel free to chat to any one of us in the future student team about your individual eligibility. All applicants for this course must sit an admissions interview. This is where we have a bit of a chance to get to know you and see if you're a good fit for the course. We'll talk about your interest and passion and knowledge in the field of screen and media, as well as your career goals and academic goals and other things like that. All applicants also need to submit a 300-word essay on why they want to study in the field of screen and media, and this will be due at the time of your admissions interview. If you are a non-Year 12 student, you can actually apply directly through the Collarts website. Head to collarts.edu.au/apply and pop through an application. Once we receive that application, we'll get in contact with you to arrange an admissions interview and chat you through the essay submission as well. We actually have 3 intakes a year at Collarts: early to mid-February, late May, and mid-September. Orientation week is the week prior to your classes commencing, and applications close the first Friday of classes. Census day is usually Friday of week 3 of the course, or into the course. If you are a current Year 12 student, you will need to apply through VTAC. If you haven't heard much about VTAC at this stage, don't worry too much. Your school teachers and careers advisors at school will usually take you through that process, but it is the body that students use or high school students use to apply for university in Victoria. VTAC applications usually open around August of every year. Keep in mind that these dates up above are subject to change, but your school should let you know of any changes. All you need to do is preference Collarts, and once we receive that preference, we will be in touch to arrange an admissions interview and your essay submission. Offer rounds usually commence in December or January. If you have any questions about anything we have discussed today in the presentation, about Collarts, the course, or your eligibility, feel free to click the below link and come chat to us in the Future Student team. And if not, I hope to see you soon.